Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. Today, we're watching Torchwood, and quite frankly, it's about time. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome back to About Time. How are we today?
Tired as always, and I can't wait for our week off. Yay.
Oh yeah, we've got that coming up not too long now.
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah.
We're going away.
Should we tell listeners where we're going?
No.
Okay.
That sounded really like, ooh. No. We'll tell you after the fact.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes it's nice not to just give your location out.
I really don't think anyone's going to stalk us, but yeah.
How do you know?
Fair.
You don't know everyone who listens, do you, Stephen?
Nah, that's true.
Anyhow, how are you?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm also very tired. I'm aware that we say this every week because that's just adulting, isn't it?
And we're 30-year-old men.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've had a very busy couple of weeks. My play is now over. Thank the Lord. It was really good in the end, and I was really pleased with it. But I'm still glad it's over because it was exhausting.
It took a lot of time. It took a lot of energy.
Yes.
You were still working and all that.
Also, the weekend just gone at time of recording was my mum's 60th birthday. So I hope she won't mind me sharing that. And so we went to see them. And we did another escape room.
Yeah.
We did an escape room with my parents.
Yeah. Which
was quite fun, actually. Ben didn't have a meltdown this time.
Because we won!
We did win. We had a lot of hints, though, from the...
Georgina.
From the lady. She did say she gets a bonus every time someone does a review with her name in it, but I don't think that counts if you mention her on the podcast.
5 stars. Well, maybe not 5 stars.
Yeah, 4.5.
And, your parents booked it, and then we got there, and she was like, this is one of the hardest puzzles that this company does. So, good luck. And then she ended up giving us loads of hints.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, something was supposed to drop off the wall and it didn't.
Yeah, she had to come in and fix it and say, I'll add on 5 minutes of your time for that.
She had to turn the plug on.
Yeah, yeah.
We did it in 57 minutes?
Yeah, so right up to the wire, actually. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
I could get into escape rooms. If they weren't so expensive, I'd do them a lot more. But yes, we've reached another milestone in your Doctor Who journey, haven't we?
Yes.
You've completed Torchwood Series 1. And your thoughts overall?
The best thing I've watched in the Whoverse.
The Whoniverse, yes.
Whoverse.
People call it the Whoniverse.
Whoniverse.
Don't think
Whoniverse,
like Universe, Whoniverse. Don't think you can come into this long-standing community and just dictate a different name.
I'm not dictating, but I'm just saying Whoverse sounds better.
No, Whoniverse. Anyway, the best thing you've watched
out of the Whoverse, yeah.
Okay. I'm
going to call it Whoverse because it sounds better in my head and I can't...
It just sounds like Hoovers, like a load of vacuum cleaners.
But who's Hooney?
Universe. Whoniverse.
It doesn't make sense in my head.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't.
Anyway, so Ben's now said he's desperate to watch Series 2 of Torchwood.
Yes, I am absolutely desperate.
But I've told him continuity reasons, you can't just crack on with it. You have to watch it in a certain chronology.
Need it.
Well, you know what that means then. We've got to crack on with Doctor Who Series 3.
I want it. I need it. I must have it.
All right.
I must see the arc of love.
Oh, between
Jack and Yanto.
Yes. Anyway, should we get into the 2 episodes that we watched that finished it off?
What is episode...
Episode 12.
I'm not very good at remembering the time.
No, it's okay.
I asked you, between recordings and between episodes, I'm like, what was the episode? What's the next episode called?
It's fine.
Just as we're about to start it, I was like, what was this episode called?
It's fine. It's quite a nerdy thing. You know, the majority of the audience don't really care about episode titles.
So, the episode we're about to talk about is called...
Captain Jack Harkness.
Oh! Okay. Hottie of the Week is Captain Jack Harkness.
The real one.
Oh,
yeah.
My God, he's divine.
I don't know. He doesn't really do it for me, actually.
Oh,
but
he's got broad shoulders. Maybe he's hairy, which would be a big plus on my...
Okay. I don't know how you can tell that.
I said maybe.
It's just entirely your imagination.
Yeah. Well, I can use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Captain Jack Harkness.
He's very suave, I know.
Yeah, he's suave and he's And I think he could tell like Jack was something different. Like he was exotic, and he was.
Yeah, you mean you could tell he was queer?
Yeah, they felt a resonance between each other.
Yeah.
Is that the episode we're about to talk about?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Carry on.
So it's a good episode, isn't it?
It is a good episode.
You get a nice little team of Tosh and Jack.
Yes.
Which we haven't had before.
Yes.
So that was nice to see them together.
Yes. But anything that is to do with some kind of historical, I'm going to be all over it, because that's one of my favourite genres.
That's what I think was nice about this, that we actually got a bit of a time travel thing happening, which you don't get in Torchwood normally.
Yeah. Like I like the fact that like they slipped into this part of the rift that was temporal. What is it called? Temporal phase? Temporal.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
Temporal something. And they slipped into the past through this weakening of time, I guess. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I liked that it was very contained to the building.
Yeah, that was cool.
And so like it meant set wise and location wise, you've just got a few rooms to focus on. Whereas, like in Doctor Who, you have the episodes where they have to dress up whole streets.
Yeah, they go all over the place. Yeah.
So I liked how it was quite contained.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good episode. Doesn't have anything on the last episode, but it is a good episode.
We'll come on to that, but yeah. Also, the 1940s is a nice period to be immersed in. I think. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm always saying to you that it's easy to romanticize the past, and obviously living through a world war is not the best experience. No. And being gay or whatever, I mean, there are many issues with things then. Yeah. But aesthetically, like it's a very nice period, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the fashion's nice. The just the lack of screens is lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the thing about today is if you let's think about it in this single room, Stephen, in our living room.
Yeah.
We have my iPad, 2 phones, that's 3 screens, your laptop, that's 4 screens, TV, that's 5 screens, Switch, that's 6 screens, my computer, that's 7 screens.
Yeah.
7 screens in one room.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a bit much. I think society has got, like, I think Apple and Samsung and all these big brands have kind of like subliminally made us want these screens all the time and made us addicted to them. And with social media, it's made it even more addictive. And it's hard to kick. Like you think about getting a new phone, you're like, oh, what's the new phone out? Or what better phone can I get? And like the difference, people probably say, oh, there's loads of differences. But the difference between models is becoming so slim. Back in the day when iPhones were first coming out, they were being leaps and bounds. They were bigger screens and higher resolution. Yeah. And now we're getting to the point where I think the resolution is, I don't know how much better can we get with the screen resolution?
I don't think the technology is advancing as fast as the like capitalist sort of side of just, they're wanting to push out a new model. Like this technology slowed down a bit, but I very much get what you mean. It's nice. It's nice looking back into a historical period when
talking and having a good time, and it shows that you can have. It's not my cup of tea. Parties aren't my cup of tea at all.
No, me neither.
But it just shows that you can have a good time without having to be in front of a screen.
Yeah. Speaking about the kind of the setting and the way they dressed it and stuff, the episode. What?
You're going to talk about a little thing you noticed.
The poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never noticed it before, but I saw it this time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's some posters on paper on the walls, and there's one just behind the 2 Jacks when they're talking, and it just looks like someone has printed it off on Microsoft Word and stuck it up, because the image has got a white background, but it's like a grainy white, and then just about a centimetre from the edge of the paper, it goes pure white, where it doesn't print to the edge, And I'd never noticed that before, but once I noticed it, I couldn't unsee it. And it was just like, oh, that's so awkward. Like, they could have just trimmed that.
They could have.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. Shall we talk about the iconic character who appears in these 2 episodes?
Billis Manger.
I'm Billis, the manager.
Billis Manger, is it?
Billis Manger, yeah. What's his
Billis-
middle name? Preta.
Okay. And
The funny thing is, his name thing on his desk says Billis Manger, and just as you see that, he's saying, "I'm Billis, the manager." So when I saw it, I used to think it said Billis Manager.
yeah, that's what I thought it said. My God.
What was it you said about him yesterday when we were watching? You said he's so evilly gay.
Oh yeah,
Or
he's so
something, yeah.
evilly camp and he's suave and he's. I'm sorry, Gwen.
Yes. I'm so sorry. What was it? What was his line? I can think of better things to photograph than numbers, my dear.
Stephen,
Yeah.
why does everything go Voldemort with you? Oh my God, I've got to go pound the jar.
Pound in the jar. He was a great actor and did a great performance there.
Yeah.
I told you tonight the actor sadly died this year.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he was, but he must have been getting on a bit. But yeah, he's fantastic in this. He's really creepy and also funny in a way. But he's an evil shit, isn't he? Like,
oh yeah.
like when he was scratching out the numbers of Tosh's blood, so it wouldn't be found in the present day.
it's still not wrapped up for me, like how he can do what he can do.
Oh, how he can flip between eras. Yeah, it's not explained.
And that just drives me mental.
Yeah, I think maybe it was something they intended to explain in the future and never got round to. And again, it may well be touched on in other media like audios or novels, but I haven't read or seen or heard any of those. But yeah, the way they present it in this, it's in episode 13, isn't it? But he says about I can step between eras as you walk into another room, as if it's just a gift he's always had. But yeah, I think you just have to accept that. He's a fascinating character. It would have been nice to bring him back, but yeah.
Yeah, he wanted. Yeah, he was a fantastic character, and like going back to not Gwen's blood,
Tosh's blood.
Tosh's handwriting in blood.
Yeah,
Like it was quite. I don't know how logistically it would work, but it was cool that they were like sending messages through time.
Yes.
Through the media that they had back then.
yes, yeah. It was very cool. And you said when Tosh was cutting her hand, for the blood, you said she is dedicated.
She is. She's
Yeah.
dedicated to cause.
I mean, you have to be really. If you were stuck back in time, you'd want to do anything.
The thing is that I think she was actually fueled by how Japanese people were treated back then.
Yes.
Going back to
Yes.
this echoes in how that woman treated her.
Yeah.
I was like, absolutely not, bitch. You stay away from my Tosh.
Yeah, no. But I think it was good that they didn't shy away from that, and they didn't just brush it under the carpet. They actually addressed the fact that a Japanese woman in that setting, what the implications of that are.
And like they called her a Jap, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
That sounds so degrading.
Well, yeah, it sounds like a slur, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they handled it quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was really good. And I really liked how like Jack did protect her. And like he's so fast thinking. He knows how he is to protect people. So he basically said, "Oh, she's a decoder for the British side."
Yeah, that was good.
And like he said to her, "I'll protect you," and that I believed every word that he said. He would protect anybody.
Yeah.
And
I think Jack's got a big soft spot for Tosh.
yeah, but yeah, definitely. But like he was no help in this episode.
No,
Getting back was
he was too
Tosh.
busy having a bit of a flirt.
Yeah, he was too busy wanting to find a secret room and
Yeah, he wasn't actually any help with getting back, was he?
no, because he would have stayed. Because it was obviously that he reminisced and he loved it, and he
in a way he's kind of at home in that era, even though he's not from that era.
Yeah, like so. But that echoes back to the main question of this episode, Stephen.
Yeah.
What is his real name?
Oh, Jack.
Do we ever find out?
Okay, now we never find out on screen, and I was under the impression that we never found out. But somebody told me recently that it is given in one of the audios, I think. But I just would prefer to ignore that, because I think, like the Doctor, like we never find the Doctor's name. Like this, one of those things. I just think you should never know.
Now, I really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know the real Doctor's name. I want to know everything, because the Doctor, I don't understand why he just left his name. Okay, this is not a Doctor Who. This is a Doctor Who podcast, but this is not a Doctor Who episode.
This is not a Doctor Who podcast. What are we doing there?
Why did he just disregard his name? Was it to protect himself? I don't know. It just felt.
Well, these are all questions that are part of the question of the show, Doctor Who. That's what it's about, you know. I mean, it's not what it's about, but it is as well.
Yeah. Anywho, I like the subtle way they because Jack's always ready for the 40s in how he dresses.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
long line trousers and they're slightly wider length and pleated at the front.
Yeah,
shirt and his jacket.
Yeah.
Tosh was how they made Tosh go into a party. Add that in so that she looked
appropriate
yes. for the time. Would she pick out a 1940s styled dress? I don't know if it's Tosh's vibe, but I love that colour on her. That fuchsia-y, purpley colour was lovely on her.
Yeah, definitely.
And Poodlehead was very easy, wasn't she?
Who?
Poodlehead. She was very, very, very easy. Don't you think? She was like, all you had to do was, I could die and not kiss a girl.
Oh, that random girl and that random guy, yeah.
And they were just making out. I was just like...
Yeah. Thing is, you could be the last person I ever kiss. And then they just start making out.
I guess back in those days where you heard that noise and you're like, oh, I could die in 100%, a moment.
Yeah.
And
terrifying.
And then you do things in a phrase that has stuck with me throughout my whole life is desperate people do desperate things.
Mm.
And I think like when you're faced up with a morality thing, you're going to do something that makes you happy and maybe gets your jollies off for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've spoken about Jack. We left him in Doctor Who, you know, in the far future, and he's come back through time and blah blah blah. Yeah. And we say about like what time he's lived through on Earth and stuff. It makes me think. So, in The Empty Child, he was in World War II in London.
Yeah. Okay. We need to work this out.
This is what I'm going to say. Has he lived through this period twice? He must have done.
This is what we need to work out.
Yeah.
What date? What year was this?
1941.
And what year was Empty Child?
Off the top of my head, not sure, but something similar.
Oh, because it has to come after this episode.
Because
he assumes Jack Harkness's name from the
after he's died, of course. Yes, yes.
So if it doesn't line up, then the timeline's wrong.
Yes.
Look at my brain.
Well done. Yes, you're right. But yeah, what I'm saying is so at some point there's two Jacks in that time period.
Yeah, we had a bit of Jack on Jack action.
Yeah. Well, actually 3 if you count the fact that Jack slipped back through time in this episode. Oh no, because that would have been before the real one died. So yeah, forget that.
Yeah.
But yeah, at some point there was 2 going on. He would have had to avoid himself. And you remember Boomtown?
Not really.
The one set in Cardiff with the Slitheen mayor.
Oh yeah.
Jack was in that. And like
not the Slitheen.
No, but what I'm saying is that's in Cardiff. Torchwood's right there. You'd think they'd get involved. But the Jack who was there working with them must have given them some sort of red herring or something to get them away, so they weren't involved in that, because otherwise they'd run into himself.
Yeah.
So Owen is still hung up on Diane and having a bit of trouble.
Owen, come here, Owen. Come here, Owen. You're pissing me off.
He's been having a tough time.
He has been having a tough time, Stephen. But his tough time is costing lives.
Yes.
He's just so fucking lucky that in the next episode it could be reversed.
Yes.
Oh, and Diane is dead.
You think so?
Yes. She's dead.
Oh, because in episode 13, all the people that appeared
are dead.
Were dead people, so I guess, yeah. Well, it doesn't actually matter whether she is or not.
She's dead.
Okay. That's what you think?
She's dead.
Yeah.
Because she probably ran out of fuel and landed in the sea and died.
Maybe.
Drowned. But the thing is, though, this is the thing. I still, to this day, don't understand why she just couldn't stay. Because she obviously loved him, or was falling for him, or they were doing something. But I guess she chose her freedom over...
Yeah.
Anyhow.
So, yeah, we got a lot of Owen and Yanto back in the hub, just sort of...
Oh, yeah.
Arguing about what to do.
The sexual tension could be cut with a knife.
I didn't get any sexual tension from that.
I did. No, maybe not, but I don't know. Yanto
Yanto-
is getting more attractive as the season
is he?
goes on,
Yeah.
for me.
I was going to say he's getting more and more dramatic as the weeks go by.
Yeah.
Like when Owen said about opening the rift, and Yanto's like, "You'll incite total chaos and destruction."
I love a Welsh accent.
Yeah. But what do you think they should have done then if it was bad for Owen to open the rift? Because I think they would have been stuck there otherwise. I guess they needed the rest of Tosh's calculations.
But Yanto's smart. He probably could have worked something out.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
But didn't know that Owen was second in command.
No, that was quite a surprise actually when he said that. We've never heard that before. He said, "I'm second in command."
Maybe it's just like short man syndrome.
Or maybe he just thinks he's second in command.
Yeah. Because he's got a...
Didn't Susie used to be second in command before she died?
I don't think so.
Or if I got that wrong.
She's a murderer, Stephen.
No, I know, but they didn't know that.
Yeah.
Something tells me she used to be. Anyway.
Susie, oh Susie.
Wake up, little Susie. Oh, they should have used that in that episode.
What, when they're waking her up?
Yeah.
And Grandma's like, no, you don't.
Yeah. Shall we talk about the big thing that happened at the end, or near the end of the episode?
The kiss?
Yeah, the dancing and the kiss.
Okay. The dancing would have got you in jail, and the kiss would have got you murdered. Would have got you hung.
Executed.
Yeah.
Yes.
In my thing, I think Captain Jack Harkness would have been arrested that night, and that would save him.
So he wouldn't have died in
He wouldn't
battle.
have died. So maybe that's a twist that comes later on.
It's not. I don't think it ever gets mentioned again.
Oh, why couldn't he walk through the rift?
What, to the present day?
Yeah.
He doesn't belong there.
Diana didn't belong there, but she stayed. Louise didn't belong there, but she stayed.
Louise?
Yeah.
Who's that?
The ginger one.
You mean Emma?
Oh.
Yeah. You just pick random names out of a hat don't you, when you
first
can't
name.
remember the name.
Yeah, first name that comes to my mind. I wonder how she's doing.
What, Emma?
Yeah.
Doing her fashion?
Did we see her again?
No, but we can assume she's doing well.
I think there's a storyline there, like full of like right potential.
Yeah, maybe we should have a short story or something. You could write one as a fan fiction. Did I ever tell the listeners about your fan fiction?
No, I
think
started
did.
writing a fan fiction
about Rose.
In
the parallel world.
Apparently, yeah, the episode where she is in the new land, and I started writing it from then. And she has a son.
Yeah. Oh my God! What was it? The son was called
TARDIS.
TARDIS.
Because she wanted to keep him, the Doctor, alive in her memory.
Yeah.
And it was the Doctor's child, just to let you know.
Half Time Lord.
Yeah, it was going to be a whole arc where she finds her way back to the Doctor.
Right. I really think you should carry on writing it because listeners deserve to hear this.
No.
It would be a great bonus episode. Ben fiction.
I do like writing.
I know you do.
It's not my fixation at the moment, though.
No, fair enough. Was there anything else you wanted to mention from Captain Jack Harkness?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like Jack was using, like, go kiss her goodbye, as a way, like, are you gay? I need to know, so go kiss her.
It was like a gay test.
Now she's in love with me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
You just made things 100 times worse.
You're American, you don't have to come back.
Yeah.
Many people didn't, in many weird different ways.
Yeah.
But people who survived and were American, they went back home to
I
America.
don't know if you noticed this, though. He was so sort of butch and manly for most of it. And then that one scene where they started to be physical and he held his hand and stuff, suddenly he went so, like, feminine.
That's personally my personal take is this. He
was masking.
And he allowed the softness to come out.
But did you notice that as well then?
Yeah. Because I personally think, like, he just wanted to be held.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to be held and he wanted to be loved.
Mm.
And he wanted the chance to love who he wanted to love and not just pick a girl, date a girl, marry a girl and go through the motions.
Mm.
Like, and it's sad to think a lot of lesbians and gay men went through that. They had to go through those motions because if they didn't, their lives were in danger.
Mm. We're so lucky to live in this time.
We are lucky, but
not that things are
there's still
perfect.
A fight to go.
100%, yeah.
Like, and anywho, and he's like a little puppy dog. He was so nervous to go up to Jack, and then he walked away, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, so good." And that kiss scene. Jack loves kissing.
He does, yeah.
Even if it's consensual or not. Resuscitation? Oh, a little kiss.
Yeah.
It's like, Jack, you're not blowing any air into his lungs.
No.
If anything, you're taking air out.
Yeah.
Jack the Kissonaut.
I did like that bit where he was explaining to Tosh about he took his name and then he's like, I didn't realise he was so hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, have we finished on that episode?
Yeah, it's a good episode.
It is a good episode. Shall we move on to End of Days?
End of Days was so amazing.
The finale.
I loved it so much.
You really liked it?
Yeah.
Did you have any problems with it?
Yeah, the walking turd is one of the big
That's
problems.
what I was going to say. I wasn't sure you'd like
He was a massive walking turd.
Abaddon. Yes.
Walking turd.
Walking turd.
Yeah.
It's that shot where you see over the top of his head.
I called out, it looked like a turd.
Yes. It's kind of like a Godzilla shot, isn't it?
Godzilla, Stephen, looked much better than that.
No, I'm not saying it looked like it. I'm just saying that's what they were going for, that kind of
Yeah.
shot.
It looked awful.
I do think that, I don't know, I'm in two minds about that, bringing Abaddon at the end. Like, I think it's a little bit over the top and unnecessary. But
this is my thing.
Yeah.
This would have been, Abaddon would have been perfect to bring if he came in a two-parter and the end of the first part.
Oh, right.
And then you have that long, then you have the moment, in the second episode, you have to work out how to defeat him.
Yeah.
That
it was quite
too
rushed,
quick.
actually, and quick.
Too quick. It was too like, oh, I'm a buffet. It was like, don't get me wrong, visually it looked amazing how he like almost like
sucked all his life force.
Yeah, but then I was like, I don't understand how it destroyed Abaddon, but
wait, like Jack said, it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, you can gorge yourself and overeat. Like, it's like, you remember Tooth and Claw, the wolf was destroyed by overexposure to moonlight. I think it's the same sort of thing. Like, too much of what you need is.
Oh, I forgot that shit episode.
That wasn't shit. That's one of my faves. Anyway, we're not talking about that now.
Can we talk about one major thing that I really like? I'm really thirsty in this episode.
Oh my god. Okay.
Reese's bum is so nice. Reese was so good looking in this episode.
He is gorgeous.
And yeah, that's the type of man I like.
Explain.
That's the type of man I like. There we go. Don't need to know any more than that, do we?
Yeah, I do love that bit at the beginning where she's like, nice ass, and he does the little tappy tap tap. And she's like, ah, like, does that funny laugh.
He's a typical straight man, though. Like, oh, I sleep naked.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't say that in a Welsh accent. Gwen! Can't believe I'm dating someone called Gwen.
I like how in his like dialect he calls her man. Have you noticed that?
No.
Like he's talking to her and he's like, it's fine, man. Like he's talking to his girlfriend, calling her man. It's funny.
Yeah. He, in this episode, he did good. I don't think we get enough Reese.
We don't, and I think you'll be pleased to see more of him in series 2.
Yeah, I think he's a good character.
Yes.
I think he's got flaws. Don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, he's a good character. He treats Gwen right, but the way he talks to Gwen sometimes when he's frustrated is not the greatest.
It's not, but it's human, and I can
really
understand.
Reminds me of myself. Because when I have emotional outbursts, they're quite. So mine are not normal. Mine come from being probably
diverse.
Yeah,
divergent.
Yeah,
yeah,
and they're quite. I can have very explosive, emotional outbursts. Yeah. Do you know what? You know that. When we went to the Doctor Who thingy,
the Dalek thing.
Yeah, I think I know what it was.
What?
I was overstimulated.
London.
And the thing itself.
Really?
And I was like, everything was like, my brain was like scrambled.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Anyhow.
And that's why, I understand, and
Stephen's easy. Like, Stephen just goes quiet, and I just go like a volcano.
I let you get it out of your system because I know you need to.
Yeah, but even when you're angry, you go quiet.
Yeah, I don't know how healthy that is, though. Anyway,
I
was going to say, if you have emotional outbursts like Reese, I hope I'm not like Gwen, because she's very toxic in this series.
Yeah,
I do love Gwen, but some of the things she did, trying to retcon Reese, and
Can we talk about she redeemed herself from waving at the pizza?
Oh my God. So yes, Reese's death.
Yes.
You were devastated.
I was absolutely livid.
Because obviously you thought
he's one of my favourite characters.
You thought they were really killing him off.
Yes. And I was literally I was slapping the sofa.
You were.
I was literally at one point I thought I was gonna have tears. My eyes were like welling up. I was gonna say
I felt like you were on the verge of tears.
And I had to like hold my head, and I was just like, he's not in it much, but I think he's such a special character.
He is, yes.
And I don't think he needs to become a part of the Scooby Gang.
No.
But I think he needs to be Gwen needs to be able to talk to him.
Yeah.
And Gwen needs to be able to have someone outside the group who she can rely on and who can give, because spousal discussions, when you come home and rant, that's important.
It is important, and I think that's what she's missing at the moment.
Yeah, and that's why she was so drawn to Owen, is because she could do that.
Exactly, yeah. But the thing is,
to be fair, it didn't have to lead to sex though, but
no,
each their own.
The thing is, I think with him dying in this episode and then coming back, it's kind of there to show Gwen how much he does mean to her.
It's her darkest hour.
Yeah, but like, I'm not saying this is a good thing, because it shouldn't take
someone to die to know what you're missing.
No, exactly. But that's essentially what happens.
Yeah, basically.
But you know, based on the situation now, do you think she needs to still actually be open and explain about what happened with Owen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Or is it better to just leave it now?
Sometimes let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah. That's a tricky one, to be fair, because
because
if she doesn't say anything, she's always going to have that in her back of her mind that happened and he doesn't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like, who knows about it? Oh, the Scooby Gang, and they're not going to tell him.
In fact, the whole team know, don't they?
Yeah, unless they're not going to say to him, and they're not going to go physically, unless she pisses them off. They're not going to go.
Well, exactly, yeah.
And so I just think to myself, like, I think it's a hard one.
I think she needs to tell him, because I think there shouldn't be secrets like that in a relationship.
Yeah. But oh my God, Jack's burn.
Oh God, when he did a takedown of everyone.
Yeah.
So he
the
did
poor
take down
girl
everyone.
who slept with any alien.
Yeah. That was Tosh. Yeah, Yanto's was about the cyber girlfriend in the basement, wasn't it?
Then falling in love with a woman who known for a week.
Yeah.
Is that with and
Gwen's one.
You must love him so much, because then you
spend half your time in Owen's bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was
her
not
right.
the time, that was not the right time and the place for that comment.
No.
And then fuck you.
Yeah.
Yes. And her acting, sorry, but we haven't talked about it, but her acting over the grief over Reese.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she redeemed herself from waving at the pizza.
Yeah, but we haven't gone into detail, because I need to say it was amazing.
Yeah.
It's the bit when, so there's so many different bits, but the bit when she finds his body down in the cells.
Yeah.
And she's like, literally, they must have said to her, like, just go for it. Just be, because it's traumatic and it's a shock. And it's like the way she's screaming, and then she's like almost like having a tantrum, like pounding the floor and pounding Jack and stuff.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Billis can teleport.
Yeah.
That makes him OP.
Overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He
must have been able, must have been able to tap into the rift, because he had a part of the rift machine. Why did he have a part of the rift machine? Because the rift machine was made by Torchwood, would it not? And why did they have a file with Torchwood in his drawer?
Yeah, I don't know.
All these things, I just think there's a lot of holes in this.
I don't know the answer to any of this, but I'm pretty sure that it's probably explored in audios, because I'm pretty sure I've seen his face on an audio thing somewhere. So anyway, there probably are things.
The thing is, though, like, I understand this mixed media thing, but not everyone's into audiobooks.
No, but that's the thing. The audio ones are not, in my opinion, they're not canon. They're not official, because they were created by Big Finish, which is not the BBC. So it's a separate thing. It's like
a universe.
You can take it as canon if you want to, but if you don't consume it, that's not part of your. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a separate thing.
Wow. Did anybody think that Billis had creepy eyes?
Oh, definitely. I actually thought, sorry, I'm getting ready to put another pound in the jar, but he would have made a good Ollivander, because he was always described in the books as having sort of orby, sort of misty eyes. And anyway, back to Gwen's acting, Eve Miles' acting. There's that bit when he's lying on the operating table, and she says about She's sort of she's going through like the 5 stages of grief, like that classic thing,
Yeah.
and she's starting to bargain, and she's thinking like, okay, there must be something we can do. We could, it's something's wrong with time. We can go back through time to the moment, and they're trying to tell her, sorry, Gwen, but no, that we can't.
Yeah.
And she just says, you must be able to do something, because what's the fucking point of you, Jack Harkness? And yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, but also what is so good in this subtle writing, Owen comes in, tries to comfort her.
Oh my God, don't touch me. Yeah.
That's her guilt.
Yes, of course.
That's her guilt
Of
seeping.
course.
Now she's in this moment. She can't come clean. She can't tell
Exactly.
Reese that, and so the guilt is mixed in with the grief, and it's causing this like tornado inside her.
She's made some questionable decisions, but I feel so sorry for her.
Yeah, she was a tornado in that building.
Yes.
Because literally, if you think about it, like she stormed up those stairs, and anything in her wake was destroyed. Even Jack, who got right hooked, and then Owen pushing the gun on him.
Yeah,
and actually shooting him.
Again, that's huge, because Owen did not know that he was immortal. So literally, as far as Owen's concerned, she's shot Jack dead. And for Jack to then forgive him at the end is a huge deal.
Yeah.
I said to you, didn't I? I felt like that was almost like biblical overtones of like Jesus, like him coming back at the end.
Oh yeah.
Rising from the dead, and then Owen's like Judas and him sort of forgiving him.
Owen, I forgive you.
Yeah.
Now, you might want to cut this out, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yeah.
Does anyone else... I don't like the name Owen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I really don't.
What's wrong with it?
I just feel like it feels odd in my mouth.
That's what Gwen said.
And it feels like a surname to me.
Yeah.
Anywho.
PC Andy was back.
PC Andy, yeah.
You like him, don't you?
I do like him.
It was nice to see him back. I liked that little scene where he was like, say I believe you. I'm not saying I do, but, how are we supposed to deal with a prisoner from 2,000 years ago?
Yeah. The bubonic plague.
Oh, yeah, the bubonic plague. And Owen's feeling guilty there because he knows it's all his fault.
Yeah. Shame the doctor was in a hazmat suit, because he looked cute as well.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
So it was cool, actually, for a finale to see all the team basically do a mutiny on Jack and say, no, we all agree. And he kind of lost his command. It turned out they were wrong.
They were wrong. They unleashed Abaddon.
But they were all they'd all been visited by this vision of various
dead people.
Yeah, various people that they loved and lost. Yeah. And I said to you at the time, it reminded me of Buffy. Minor spoilers for Buffy in the next 30 seconds. Series 7, the villain is called the First, or the First Evil, and they use that where it takes on different forms of people who've died, and it just reminded me of that. I really like Billis's clock shop.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
We went to go see a musical, Bake Off, and we were there really early, and we went down that little aisle, and we found some old bookshops.
Oh, yeah.
Like that little shop place.
The alley, yeah.
That was like, that. It could have fitted them there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Jack was like, it's not a bad business plan. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I think clock shops are aesthetically cool anyway. I don't know, I just think Billis is such a fascinating character as well, like we've said.
Yeah,
so,
and for him to not be explained, and like, you don't even know why he wants Abaddon to come back.
No, I'm assuming
because he would die in Abaddon's shoulder.
Well, yeah, but he thinks it's worth it. I think he just worships
blindly
the devil. I don't know.
Yeah, he is a great character and was very well executed, but I think the character itself is riddled with little wormholes.
Yeah.
He's infected with Torchwood worms. Torchwood worms. You didn't laugh at my joke.
I did. I smiled.
Torchwood worms.
Oh, I get it.
Woodworms.
Woodworms. Woodworms. Okay, sorry. I was a bit slow there. We've talked about Reese dying, but I wrote down just about Billis actually stabbing him. That
twice.
Scene. Yes, that scene, he's so cold.
He took glee in it.
Yes. And you know the way he walked from one end of the room to the other? Like, so sort of camply, but purposefully. Like,
and also,
yeah,
when he was like, at the beginning of this episode, he's like, Gwen, Gwen. And then she found him and said, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, the stab, there was no remorse. There was no sort of trepidation about it. He literally was just coldly just marched up to him and inserted that knife.
Yeah.
And then again,
yeah,
he did it twice.
He knew that she was the one that would push it all down.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about Yanto shooting Owen.
Oh, God, yeah. That was dramatic.
Yanto was like, and then Owen was like, good, you're a crap shot. I was aiming for your shoulder.
That wasn't a bad accent for you, actually.
What
you just did.
Oh, yeah. I thought it sounded French. But yeah, I think my character list, my favourite characters are currently Toshi Babes, Reese Babes,
yeah,
Yanti Babes, Jackie Babes,
yeah,
Owen Babes, and then I'm missing someone. Oh, Gwen Babes.
Gwenny Babes is at the bottom.
Gwenny Babes.
Okay.
Gwenny Babe is at the bottom because I hope that she improves
in series 2.
It's just, for me, I find her a very unrelatable character. I think her character was what we think she was and what she turned into. Her arc, maybe she's meant to be hated because of her arc is so toxic.
I think it's just, you don't have to agree with a character's every action in order to enjoy watching them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I prefer to watch the other ones. Gwen-centric episodes, I'm not a fan of.
Okay.
Because I find them a bit tedious and I find them a bit convoluted and I find them this series did not need Owen and Gwen to get together, if I'm going to be honest.
Maybe not.
The tension in their relationship, like Gwen and Reese's relationship, can easily come from within, not externally.
True.
Anywho.
So we touched briefly on Abaddon. I always want to call him Abaddon for some reason, but Abaddon draining Jack's life force.
Yeah.
Which was, quite a cool way to end it.
Yeah.
And then he died and he wouldn't come back for days. Which was interesting.
Do you know how I would have ended it?
Go on.
Close the morgue, close the door.
Yeah.
Then you knock, and the doctor opened the morgue door.
The doctor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they can't. They made a very clear decision not to have the Doctor appear in Torchwood.
But maybe you could have had it in that he went into. It's in the Doctor Who. It's in the Doctor. He comes back in the Doctor Who episodes.
Maybe.
So if they're timeline together, then you can have those. Basically, I think that you need to end it on a cliffhanger that he's dead.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I suppose so. Maybe. Although they probably knew from filming and stuff. It was obvious that Jack was coming back into Doctor Who.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, but Jack looked like he was auditioning for the Snow Queen.
You said that, yeah.
Because he was like frosty lips and blue and like.
Well, he was dead. He'd been dead
but
for days.
You can look that way and not look like you're dressing up for pantomime.
Yeah. I think I don't know if there's any sense in this, but I think that maybe the more severe and more traumatic the death, the longer it takes for him to come back.
Yes, I would agree. Because it pulled a lot of him out.
Yeah. When he gets shot and killed, he comes back within seconds or minutes.
Oh, no, I don't think it's seconds or minutes. Because when he got shot in this episode, it took, I think, didn't it take him a couple of hours?
Yeah, but remember in the first one with Susie shot him. And then Susie was talking to Gwen and he came up behind her.
Yeah, I spoke about the inconsistencies of this.
Oh, okay. I guess it is a bit inconsistent.
I said to you, he suddenly can walk fine in one episode and be shot, and this episode he couldn't. And I was just like, make your mind up.
Yeah.
Just because it's convenient for the storyline doesn't mean it should happen.
Yeah.
Do you like Jack?
What, the character?
Yeah.
Yes, I think he's fun in small doses.
If you had to snog, marry, or go on a cruise...
Isn't it normally snog, marry, or kill?
Yes, but we're going to go with the cruise.
Oh, no, let's do kill.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Out of Owen, Yanto, and Jack...
Okay.
What would you do?
Marry Yanto, definitely.
Okay. You can't have sexual favours on the cruise.
Okay.
The cruise is just strictly platon.
Probably have to be Jack on a cruise then, because he doesn't really do it for me. So I'd have to snog Owen.
Okay, I'd snog Yanto.
Yeah.
I would marry Jack, and I would go on a cruise with Owen and strictly request separate rooms.
And push him overboard.
Not push him overboard, strictly request, and then lose him on the ship. And
you'd marry Jack?
Yeah.
Or don't you think he'd get really annoying?
I would tell him off for that fake accent, but I'm sorry.
That is how he talks.
No, I'm sorry. I don't understand this. Was he raised in America?
He was he grew up in Scotland, but he trained himself to speak with an American accent.
Why?
I think because
So he's Scottish.
he got yeah, that was it. He was Scottish, and then he moved to America, and he got bullied for his accent, so he changed it.
So I'm sorry. Let me put it this way. So could he drop that and speak his normal dialect?
He does when he's with his Scottish family. He goes back to his natural Scottish accent.
So he's got to think about everything he says and how.
I think he's generally like dual, like bi accented.
Is that a thing?
Well, apparently so. Yeah, it's like code switching. It's like people talk differently in
Fine.
different.
Let's see how fast you can switch.
No, I'm not saying I can, but go on, test me then.
Irish.
What do you want me to say first?
Hello, my name is.
Hello, my name is Stephen, and I do a Doctor Who podcast called About Time podcast.
Welsh.
My name is Stephen, and I do a Doctor Who podcast called About Time.
English.
Hello, my name is Stephen, and I do a Doctor Who podcast called About Time.
Spanish.
Oh, I don't know. Can't do that one.
Finnish.
Can't do that one. You're doing random ones now.
Hungarian.
No, you're doing really ridiculous
No,
ones.
I'm not. That's not very fair to the people who live in those countries.
But I don't want to be offensive. That's why I'm not doing those ones.
American. Southern.
Southern. Oh, God, okay. My name's Stephen, and I do a podcast called About Time.
Californian.
My name's Stephen, and I do a podcast called About Time.
Canadian.
No, I can't do Canadian.
A penguin in the Antarctic.
Not supposed to be Pingu.
Oh yeah! Da, 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 da. We need to start a children's 90s children's show podcast.
I thought you were going to say we need to start specifically a Pingu podcast. Can you imagine episode by episode? Oh, Pingu's character development in this episode was incredible.
The amount of do's, he said.
Yeah. Anyway. So the final note of the episode is a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
The TARDIS.
The Doctor has been stolen because the Jack has been stolen because the Doctor has come to the hub and he wants to get his hand back because the hand was reacting to the regeneration of the Doctor.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
So, how do you know it's the Doctor, though? We didn't see the Doctor.
Because he went, meh, 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 meh.
What, there was a sheep?
Oh. That was me being the TARDIS.
What, is that the TARDIS noise? Okay.
Yeah.
But it could be, A, it could be someone else piloting the TARDIS.
No.
B, it could be another TARDIS.
No. We know that this is the only TARDIS in existence at the moment.
Okay. I'm just throwing out some speculation that we heard at the time.
It was the Doctor.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. The hand reacted is the Doctor.
Yeah. Cool. So that thread will get picked up on later on in Series 3, not right at the beginning.
How many episodes in Series 3?
13, like normal. I'm so excited. You get to meet Martha.
Okay.
Right,
should we rank the eps?
Yes, okay.
Ben's the list. Did I really put Greeks bearing gifts first?
Yeah.
Okay, this is easy for me then.
That was the one with Mary.
Oh yeah,
you loved
Mary.
that one.
Yeah, Mary was good. So this is easy. What's this first episode we talked about?
Captain Jack Harkness.
That's 2, and then the last episode's 1.
Yeah. Do you know, I'm probably going to do...
I think the 40s one's going to get a slight edge, and you're going to put that first, and then you're going to put the other one.
I'm trying to decide which one I prefer out of 12 and 13.
I like the dramaticness of episode 13 because you've got the mutiny, you've got the Jack saving the day, you've got Abaddon, the turd of man walking out.
Yeah.
From
no, I think you're right. I think for me, Captain Jack Harkness slightly takes the edge because I do really like that episode. So yeah, I'm just gonna swap the top 2 for me. So it's gonna go Captain Jack Harkness number 1, and then End of Days, and then Greek Sparing Gift.
We have similar lists, you said last time.
We do, a very similar list.
But they also show what we also appreciate. So I appreciate the action, hence why the last episode is first. You appreciate the character development, that's why the episode before that was first for you.
Mm.
What are you guys going to have for tea? We're going to have salmon.
Oh, yeah.
And a rice that Stephen thinks is spicy, which is not spicy at all.
I can't cope with anything.
It's only harissa powder, Stephen.
I have lemon and herb at Nando's, and I think that's quite spicy.
See, I had lemon and herb at Nando's once, and I was just like, because I didn't fancy anything spicy, and I was like, I should have just got medium because it's got a kick to it.
Ugh.
Like I get medium,
but you told me medium would be too much for me.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I take after my mum in that way.
Yeah,
we don't do spicy.
No, we don't try anything new.
Nope.
Apart from I've got you to try this rice and you ate it and you liked it.
It's yeah, I wouldn't like it too much, but too often. But it is nice though. Yeah. So thus concludes our current Torchwood run. So interesting that you've preferred Torchwood over Doctor Who. Yeah,
I think it's the maturity. I think it's also the type of storylines that they're telling.
Mm.
I also think that it's exploring humanity and adult humanity, and adult things. Whereas Doctor Who's got to really focus on, okay, can't go too adult, can't go too childish.
Yeah.
We've got to find this balance in between.
Yeah, because actually you also really liked the Sarah Jane, the first episode. You put that higher than if you said if it had gone on a list, it would have gone higher than all the Doctor Who.
Yeah, because I feel like these two shows, especially the latter half of Torchwood,
yeah,
I feel like they understand their market.
Yes.
They understand where this is trying to fit.
Yeah.
Where Doctor Who's trying to fit a much broader scope.
Maybe.
Which means that it's, I think, a bit watery sometimes, a bit wishy-washy in emotion. And...
I will just say, bear in mind the last thing of Doctor Who we watched was Series 2, which I've said time and again is probably Russell's weakest. So let's try and not judge it all.
The thing is, though, I'm okay. Let me put it this way: I'm judging from what I've watched.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if Series 3 is really fantastic and becomes my favourite series, you will find out.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I am very surprised, Stephen. I'm so shocked I've got this far.
We're on episode 35 of our podcast. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, guys. I'll tell you this. I do this for him.
I know.
I don't do it for myself. I don't do it. I don't mind talking about it. I don't mind
chatting. You do it
because
because you love me.
I do love you. I love you loads. And
I love you too.
And yeah, I do it for you. And so yeah. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah.
When we have breaks, you've got to bear in mind, like, okay, I need them.
Ben needs his time. I'm very grateful for you for sticking with it. And I like the fact that you are finding nice things to say. And once we get back into Doctor Who, I'm going to be reintroducing my rule of say something nice.
I've said something quite good. I've said I've been quite glowing.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't had to use it in Torchwood because you've been quite positive overall.
Yeah.
But you know, if once we get back into Doctor Who, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be
Stephen.
Yeah.
What I'm going to tell you, this episode better be called Walking Turd.
Oh, 100%. I already thought it would be. Yeah.
Good.
Yes, I'm calling that rule the Missy rule. Which you won't understand, but will be a reference for listeners.
Ugh, I don't like that. I don't like that. The things that I don't understand. Oh, Stephen got asked on podcast and I wasn't.
Yeah, I guessed it on. I will. Obviously, you'll hear about this nearer the time when I don't know because we're recording in advance now, so I don't know when this episode and this episode I guessed it on another podcast are going to come out. But I was very kindly invited on a wonderful podcast called Who Gives a Flux, which is a brilliant title, by Mike, who runs that podcast. And he's doing a series at the moment, inviting people on to talk about their duds and studs. So their least favourite and their most favourite episodes of each Doctor's era. And I recorded that recently. And so I don't know when you'll be hearing that.
What was your... Oh, no, you don't want to spoil it for the people.
Well, what were you going to ask?
No, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
I'll ask you after the podcast.
Let's just say the one that we've covered the entire 9th Doctor era already on this podcast, so it ties in quite well with where we ranked things. But yeah, thanks for listening. Always appreciated. Do get in touch if you want to let us know. Let us know what you think about Ben's thoughts on Torchwood, because I think some of it's quite surprising, because we know that Torchwood Series 1 is a little bit inconsistent, and he's actually
a question of the week.
Really loved it. Go on, what's your question of the week?
If you could bring back Torchwood, like in a reboot, how would you want to see it be brought back?
That's a great question. I'd really love to hear those answers as well. What would be your pitch for a new era of Torchwood?
So Stephen just translated Benish, by the way.
Let's have John Barrowman nowhere near it, because that's just awkward at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, that sounds really cool.
And I will explain my thoughts on the next podcast.
Okay, that sounds good. Until then, you can find us
TikTok,
About Time Podcast,
Instagramio,
About Time Cast,
Gmailio,
abouttimecast@gmail.com,
Facebook.
We don't have Facebook. You've forgotten your favourite one.
Tweet.
About Timecast. Tweet. Is that it? I think so.
Yeah. And that's all we've got left to say is...
Stay.
Fan.
Tast.
Ick.
Woo!
EO.
Bye, guys.